Welcome Shankara TV viewers for this episode and greetings to you all. So in the last episode we saw about quantum physics and its revelations on interconnectivity, that is how we all are connected at the subatomic molecular level to all the particles in the universe, or going further, how we are all connected to the various forces available in this universe, the vast, immense forces that are available. Therefore, this proves and leads to a logical conclusion that since universe being powerful, universe having lot of energies, and we being a part of this universe, we should have lot of energies and therefore we should also be powerful. That is a very common sense, logical conclusion we can never have. We are part of this universe and we are not away from this universe. So we have to be, because of this proof of interconnectivity available to us. These energies, sometimes called divine energies, do act on us. They are reachable to us. We can contact them. We can have them come and help us in our objects. And objects have to be good, karmic, positive objects for positive results and not for any negative results, and they are available in abundance, and that is why the Vedas call them or name them as Devas, those energies. We have 33 Devas in Rig Veda: Vasu, Rudra and Aditya, 8 Vasus, 11 Rudras and 12 Adityas. This will make 31 plus 1 Indran and 1 Prajapati makes 33. So vast energies are available who answer us and who help us, and with the interconnectivity, with the connection proved beyond doubt, we can contact them, we can invite them, and we can make them sail through our wavelengths to achieve the expected result. And that much is very certain and very clear with our intent. With our intent, we can make our expectations happen. Now, next let me go through the to the science of brain, that is the neurology. Let me explain something about our brain, and then I shall go further on various practical, very important subjects. This is the field I am preparing. Our brain, for your information, is a very, very mysterious product, weighing between 3 pounds to 5 pounds. It stores all the digital information, contents available in the universe, in the world. It has that power. Just 20 watts of electricity is enough to power it. Just a bottle of water, or whatever you say, any aerated water or a water, is enough to cool it down. Whereas for an equipment something similar to our brain, you require a nuclear plant, a power plant. You require a river to cool it down. You just enough, if you have 2 good sandwiches which provides you 600 calories a day to the brain, it is enough. That is what the brain requires, but it is a wonderful, wonderful mechanism, a product which at the surface level, base level, everyone should have a general idea about it. Our brain has what is known as nerve cells called neurons. Neurons are nerve cells available in the brain and also throughout the body, and the biggest neuron is something which starts from the base of your leg, from your hips to your feet, to your hips, about 3 feet long, to several minutest neurons in your brains, nerve cells. and we have the glia cells. Glia cells are those cells which repair a neuron. And you have various kinds of cells in our brain, the variety of which is much more than the variety available in other parts of the body. Now these, if you take these neurons, otherwise called as the nerve cells in the brains, there are about 80 billion, they say, to 100 billion. 80 billion means 1 billion is 100 crores. So 8,000 crore cells to 10,000 crores, 100 billion. I would express myself in billions, it's easy for me. So 80 billion to 100 billion neuron cells are available, and each neuron has an axon, the body cell, and a dendrite. The axon is, it's very easy to tell about a neuron, but you cannot see a neuron with your naked eye. You have to use powerful microscopes and electron scanners. And each neuron it has an axon, it has a body cell, and it has a dendrite. The axon spews out information through the synapses. It is received by the dendrites. There are branches in dendrites, lots of branches, and dendrites take them through the axons, through the body cells, and gives it to axons. Axons again sends it through the synapses to the dendrites. So axons send, the dendrites, branches of the dendrites receive. The information is passed through the body cell, from the axon goes through the body cell, goes to dendrites, which converts. Some say it is believed that axons convert the chemical neurotransmitters to electrical energy, and then it goes to dendrites. Some say like that, the dendrites receive the information from the axons. So the axons and the dendrites face each other, the one giving out, the one receiving. In between you have a synapses, that is called, the simple language, it is a space, and there are 100 trillion synapses in our brains for about 100 billion neurons. 100 trillion means 1000 billion make 1 trillion. So you can calculate, because dendrites have branches, there are lots of synapses, connecting points, spaces between a dendrite and a neuron, and the flow of current is unidirectional in a neuron. The axon spews out, sends out, the axon does not receive. The axon sends out, the dendrites receive. The axon sends out, the dendrites receive. See, it is a very complicated organizations, and there is what is known as the neurotransmitters. The chemicals are produced. These chemicals are called neurotransmitters, and these chemicals are again converted into electric energy and given to dendrites, which again which again receives those information. See, the process is something, a difficult, complicated process, because as Max Snyder says, it is neurons which fire together, wire together. Now I will come to this. The neurons get started forming second, third year of a child, it forms to its more or less the fullest. The 5th year, yes, the neurons are more or less full, 80 billion is formed, they say. But the neurons are not created later on in the life, they say. It is only the glia cells that repair the neurons. But there are doctors, scientists who believe that neurons are also created. Now how they are created is, see, these synapses, there are lots of neurons which are not connected to the dendrites, which are not connected to the other neurons. The gap, the synapses, the space between two neurons are always a space. No signal, no current, no chemical flows for most of the area for some people. That is why they say it is not developed properly. So the fundamental idea is neurons should get connected to each other to the maximum number of neurons through the maximum number of synapses. It has to be connected well with each other. A neuron may be large in number, 80 billion, but the connection is very poor. There is no point. It's not a powerful brain, they say. So the aim is to connect those neurons and also to have the maximum number. Of course, the maximum number is useful, but the connectivity per neuron is very important. The genes of a neuron is also very important. It is something like a relay station. You will have number of relay stations, but if each relay station has to connect to the 100 houses in a village, for example, the connectivity from the relay station has to go to the 100 villages in the house. That is what is known as connectivity. That is what comes through experience, the connectivity. Whereas the gene gives you the number of relay stations, maybe, yes, you will have number of neurons, but neurons that fire together, wire together means as you gain experience in your life, neurons fire together and wire together. They establish connectivity between each other, and that is the most important thing apart from the genetic condition of the neuron. The connectivity of the neuron is important. There is no point in having a relay station in a village without getting connected, without the relay station connecting to all the 100 houses in the village through wires or transmitters or whatever it is. Now, what helps those connectivity? Well, there are a lot of factors. You should have a good chemical generation. Chemicals like dopamine, endorphin, acetylcholine, then there are serotonin, glutamates. There are various types of chemicals, and these chemicals are converted into electrical energy and then chemicals and electric energy, and then the connections are established like that. So, the flow of connections goes through the brain. The brain has in the bottom the brain stem, they say, which has a medulla oblongata, pons, and the midbrain, and then you have all those cerebellum. Then the top you will have cerebrum, in between you will have the thalamus, the hypothalamus and the hippocampus for memory regions, and then on top of the cerebrums, which consists of the cortex region, the frontal cortex, the lobes, the frontal cortex you have, then you have the parietal lobes, the occipital lobes, and the temporal lobes, the left temporal and the right temporal, and the two hemispheres of the brain are connected by colossus. They say some colossus capsicum, colossus. It connects, it's a nerve center which connects the two hemispheres. The brain as it is also floats on a liquid, it's really floating. It's a wonderful instrument, it's a wonderful organ which receives around 70 to 80 gigabytes of information every second it has to process. It's a wonderful organization. So what happens is, in this wonderful brain, if you have negative emotions, your connectivity is stopped. Your synapses gets filled with pus cells. When an E. coli bacteria for meningitis patients invade a brain, only pus cells are formed. Instead of chemicals or electric energy flowing from one neuron to the other, your stress, your anger, everything creates pus cells in your brain. Your negativity creates pus cells, thereby the clarity for a positive thinking, for a positive energy to flow is arrested. You have not prepared the field, like the farmer preparing the field, as I told you. He has to prepare nicely the field before planting those seeds and growing his crops and watering those crops. First, you have to prepare the base brain which you have inherited. You can prepare it very nicely through meditations, so that the connectivity from each neuron is established properly. Information flows from one neuron to other, and thereby when information starts flowing from several billions and millions of neurons you have to all those neurons, the capacity of your brain to do wonderful things can happen. The capacity of your brain to go into the quantum level also happens. The capacity of your brain to receive flashes from the universe, flashes from the cosmic forces, flashes from all the positive energies, abundant energies in the universe happens. You have to have a relay station to receive the satellite signal. You will have to have a proper station. Then you will have to have the connectivity. Your batteries must be in charge. You should know the number so that you can talk to your friend sitting 1000 miles away on a cell phone, mobile phone. Similarly, when any cosmic energy has to enter your thought, your mind, your basic satellite equipment has to be proper, God given equipment has to be proper. And for that, if you indulge in negative thoughts, what are negative thoughts? Anger. Anger breeds jealousy, criticism, fighting, raging, theft. Anger breeds everything. They are all juniors to anger, they are all children of anger. It would bring you everything and nothing will happen, only the pus cells get formed, the free flow of inside the neurotransmitter chemicals are all disturbed. Do you know some chemical called dopamine is as strong as an opiate drug? They are very strong chemicals, they get secreted in excess. Chemicals are there responsible for emotions, for your intelligence, for your behavior, for your memory. Your hippocampus area stores memory. Your hippocampus can get damaged. When your hippocampus, that area of the brain, gets damaged, then you can enter into Alzheimer's disease, dementia, starting from dementia leading to Alzheimer's disease. So, these things can happen if you are stressed, and the stress happens only through anger. Anger creates the pus cells. Beautifully, Bhagavan Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Krodhat bhavati sammoha, sammohat smriti vibramah, smriti bhrimshat buddhinasho, buddhinashat pranashyati. Krodhat, from anger, Krodhat bhavati sammoha, delusions you will get. Sammohat smriti vibramah, smriti, your memory power gone. Smriti bhramshat buddhi nasho, if you lose your memory power, your intelligence is gone. Buddhi nashat, from that nasha of that buddhi, pranashyati, the man perishes, the person perishes, dies, means is over. So, the anger destroys your brain, which everyone should know. The lovely product which God has given us, where interconnectivity of all the neurons is a must for well functioning. A simple 2-minute anger can destroy lots of neuron cells. Then you will have to bank upon the glia cells to repair those neurons. What happens to those clogged pus which clogs the synapses? They will have to be brought down and then they will have to be erased from there, they will have to be removed from there. How to remove? Well, we will come to that when I talk on meditation. But the primary point is, when you want to know or something, try about positive thoughts and positive thinking, first know about your brain. The brain and the neurons and the pus cells and the area of your frontal cortex, which is your administrative power, the Broca's area, the Wernicke's area, the language articulations. The front is the Broca's area, which tells you that you cannot speak but you can understand, and if the Wernicke area is erected, you can understand but you cannot speak. You will lose the memory also. You will speak but you will not remember what you spoke about a second back previously. A second before, what you have spoken you do not know. So, you tell your friend, bring me the book from that shelf, then you will forget that you have told him, bring me the book from that shelf. If the Wernicke area is affected, there are a lot of functions of a brain. Homeostasis is your body temperature. So, when a basic evil negative energy, negative thought, A negative thought is a thought that that man is a bad man, is a negative thought. The thought that that man is a bad man itself is a negative thought. The thought that that man stole from something from me is also a negative thought. The thought that that man is a fool is a negative thought. The thought that that man is not helping me is a negative thought. The thought that that man is very rich is a jealousy, a form of jealousy, is a negative thought. There are several such negative thoughts which you will understand during the course of your life. Finding fault is a negative thought. Criticizing others is a negative thought. Others should not progress is a negative thought. I only should be the king and he can never be the king, that is a negative thought. So these negative thoughts, what it does, it spawns puzzles in your brains. Thereby the free flow of information, that is the free flow of intelligence, the thoughts, the origination of thoughts, the flash thoughts, the intellectual thoughts, the idea thoughts, the intuitive thoughts, which enables you to reach commanding heights, which enables you to have your expected results, like the particles of an electron, particle formation for an electron will go away. You understand your brain first, physically, let us not go spiritually, but at least think that at the normal level, your brain has to be protected. How to protect your brain? You protect your brain by your positive, pleasant thoughts. That is why a very famous, even a sage says in Tirukkural, Inna Saidarai Uruttal Avar Nana Nannayam Saidu Vidal. One who even hurts you, injures you, do not even harm him. Do good to him so that he is ashamed of. Means these brilliant sages originating from our land spoke very clearly. That is, the thought to injure another man, the thought that he has even injured you is a negative thought. If you believe that you want to help him, those who have already injured you, that is a very positive thought. That is good for you, that is good for your brain. And that would propel you to commanding heights, to the level of an infinite source of power, because your brain can achieve that. Therefore, the very fundamental thought, the concept which every one of us have to promote essentially a field for positive thinking, a magnetic field full of positive energies, is to first keep your brain in order. If you start hurling abuses, start thinking bad things, wishing bad things for others, all these, I could list an array of negative energies that will systematically erode your brain. Your brain will get rusted because the flow of electrons will stop, pus cells or clogs will fall into those synapses, blocking free flow of connectivity, and then your brain will rust because it is not being used. There is no free flow of information. Even if you take an fMRI or an MRI, magnetic resonance imaging, you will find if information flows in a particular area of your brain, you can see red spots, that means blood is flowing. Everything is medically proved. What I am telling you is medically proved. Blood has to flow on all the surfaces of your brain nicely. Your connectivity must be nice. Your brain power must be nice. With your brain power, you can achieve anything. It's a basic law. It's a basic law. So that is why I want all of you to get an idea, an exposition at base level about the nature of your powerful brain, which stores almost all the digital content of the world, the capacity to store. It has so many million bytes of memory. They say 2 million petabytes of information it can store. Petabytes means 1000 TB. Terabyte make 1 petabyte. So 2 million they say, something. But one thing is certain, the power of your brain is very important. It is a property which you should safeguard. Firstly and most primarily and most importantly, you safeguard your brain first, and that is the basic preparation for the power of positive thinking. Thank you. See you in the next episode.